Welcome back to this episode of Show Don't Tell. Books. It's all about books today. We love to write them. We like to read them. Now we're going to look at how some common items, and books is first up, can be used to show, not tell. Okay, so let's see what books are all about, as if you didn't know. Oh, first, hi, I'm Autumn Bardeau, and here you'll find writing tips, author tools, and hopefully some inspiration for living your best writing life. Okay, it's back to books. Books are synonymous with wisdom and learning, but they can reveal a whole lot more than just that. New books denote new wisdom. An old book, the older the better, especially an ancient book, denote older or ancient wisdom. And who doesn't value some ancient wisdom? Books with dog-eared pages, and yes, I'm an offender. I know that horrifies many of you. Notations, yes, also an offender. And bookmarks that, slid in there somehow, suggest a well-loved or well-used book. Once again, does your character have those in their house? Are they using one, carrying one around? Pristine books can suggest a few different things. They can suggest books that are used for show, or that a person takes exquisite care of them. But if they look unused, if the spine isn't cracked, well, that could suggest that they are there just for looks. That the owner of those books wants to appear well-read, which shows a person who is more interested in looking intelligent than actually being intelligent, or appearing to look well-read than actually being well-read, because we know that takes some time to be well-read. Books with tiny print or elaborate print can suggest something that is not just hard to read literally, but metaphorically. The information in the book is difficult to comprehend, or if the print is overly elaborate, like they did in the old days, it can infer that they're trying to gild that lily or gild the wisdom or knowledge therein to make it look better, or they're paying homage to that wisdom by gilding the lily. It's whatever you want it to mean, and that will be inferred by the reader. So if it's fancy lettering, fancy font for something basic, then what's that all about? Or if it's fancy font as paying tribute to the beauty, like the beautiful font, to the beauty of the wisdom therein, then you're paying more homage to the wisdom. It's a detail that you can use to lead or mislead the reader. So if they open a book like that, if they possess a book like that, if they have a book like that, if they are writing a book like that, you get to have that little detail infer something nuanced, something multi-level. And that will infer about the character, the conflict, the setting, their emotions, or their personality. Large print books suggest a book that is easy to comprehend. Primers are often in easy to read font for beginner readers. But books containing esoteric or forbidden information suggest something that perhaps the character needs to learn something, or the setting or the people in the setting or in the story need to learn something. Once again, you get to determine what that is, why it's forbidden information. Is it too dangerous to handle? Does it make somebody see the world the way it really is? Why is it forbidden? Books that are open, so a book with the pages open, right, suggests something being currently read or studied, or that the character wants someone else to look at. So if you're just going to use a book as a prop, add something to it, right? Is there something open, that a page that they look at? Why did they open it, right? Why did they keep that page open? What about books that are in attics or basements or locked away? Is the book in the attic old and forgotten? But is the book in the basement being hidden? We tend to think as attics as memories and basements as deep, dark places of our soul. So, but once again, nothing is hard and fast, and it's up to you. I have neither nor an attic nor a basement in this California house. Where would I hide a book? In the garage. Why is the book in the attic or the basement or the garage? You decide what you want to show, what you want to imply. Does that book contain dangerous information? Is it embarrassing to the family, to a particular character, to the character's family, to somebody else? What makes it dangerous? What makes that book contain dangerous information? Now, these are by no means hard and fast rules. It's not about this means that, and I hope that you are understanding that. I know you are when I talk about that. I want to give you possibilities for things, writing ways that can show things. You give the detail its meaning. You decide what you want to show or suggest or imply to the reader. Here's another thing to consider about books. Is your character a reader? Or do they hate reading? A character who loves to read shows a person who values learning and knowledge and loves to learn and loves to expand their world or escape from their world. A hater of reading shows a person who, well, doesn't. I'm going to digress here for a minute because there's something I say to my high school students. And when I say it, I never have a problem afterwards. I say, I don't argue with a person whose TV is bigger than their bookshelf. Yeah, because that shows me that if your TV is bigger than your bookshelf, that you value entertainment over knowledge. Fahrenheit 451. It's one of my favorite novels by Ray Bradbury. In that novel, books are banned because they didn't want people to think for themselves. And so their TV-sized walls kept the populace entertained and sated. It's a powerful book, and they use books in many different ways, and the pages of books many different ways. So if you really want to see an amazing use of how books and pages are used, take a quick read of that book. It's a short book. You'll get through it in a couple hours. Are you using a book as a prop? If you are, it can be an opportunity to show or to reveal or imply or suggest something about the plot, maybe some foreshadowing, or the character's emotions or their personality, any of those things. So think about what that book, if that book is out, like if you're just going to have that detail, do you want to just say, there was books stacked on the table, or there was, alphabet books stacked on the table, or library books, or novels, or mysteries, or self-help books stacked on the table? Remember there was from the movie Men in Black, where they go into this simulated, you know, creatures scene where they have to like decide who to shoot, who doesn't belong in the neighborhood, who's an alien and who's not. And Will Smith, as that character, the newbie, kills little Tiffany. And he says, why did you kill little Tiffany? And so he goes through all the monsters, but and why they didn't deserve to be shot. But little Tiffany was 8 years old and carrying a physics book. And that just seemed wrong. So books are important. So what kind of books are your characters carrying? I love when my students are reading books. I will always go and see what books they're reading because it tells me a lot about their personality and about who they are and what they love. If your character is reading a book, what is the title? So that can definitely show or reveal something about the character, their personality, their life, what's going on in their life right at that moment, their worldview. And yes, once again, even foreshadow. So that was all about books. Next week, we're going to do mirrors. So much fun. Okay, so I gotta do my little close. Oh, and if you haven't already, I would love if you would subscribe and follow me on all that social media. I try to post as regularly as I can. So until next week, dream in pages, create in words, and embrace your book. You know what? That one was really much too easy. Until then, have a great week and hope you get some writing done. Bye-bye.